Verse number 22. Vrutha shramayom vidusha vruthayam karminam shramah yadina brahma vijnanam iti vedanta dindimaha. So definitely, if the person does not have the knowledge of one's own self, that is called Brahman. Even if the person is a vidusha, means a vidwan, even if a person is a learned, even the person has got highly, let us say, exposed, the person is highly exposed to the scripture, knows what is right, what is wrong, knows everything in details. Remember, Vrutha Samayam is a waste of putting all sort of effort to study all the scripture. It's exactly like you put all effort to reach a given destination. But instead of reaching destination, you go round, thinking that you have reached destination. That is the sad part of your life. And of course, same person, Karminam. Here is Karminam means all sort of rituals. They think that going to heaven or different means getting different ends. Remember, that is also really waste. Because here is being highlighted. The purpose is not that you should not do all these things. You must. But the purpose is to get or to do all these things to understand yourself. That's why we say Vedanta is not meant for everybody. Vedanta need not be really taught to everybody. Because to have interest for Vedanta is one thing, but to sustain and maintain that interest from a curious mind to develop Shraddha is entirely different thing altogether. Especially present day, mind is so smart, mind is so, let us say, intellectual or information oriented. So they look at Vedanta as another interesting information. In fact, one of the best tools to destroy others and of course destroy one's own self. Because once you are exposed to Vedanta for some time, you yourself become a best psychologist. In fact, a psychologist, what he or she has not studied in lifetime, you will get exposed within few months of Vedantic study. But the problem is here, at least when the psychologist starts studying psychology, some sincerity is there because he had some problem to maintain, to handle. Some sincerity definitely is there. Later on what happens, don't ask. But whereas in Vedanta case, if there is no sincerity but just information sake you approach, remember, neither it will be helpful to you nor helpful to others. In fact, it will be a disaster in your life. And of course, you will be literally a pain in the eyes of others. However, why all these things? Because, remember, whether you are curious or serious, that will be understood with reference to your maturity. Only you yourself can see your maturity. You don't have to exhibit. There is no need, there is no point of exhibition. And seeing the maturity means what? Developing alam buddhi. So alam buddhi means enough. So after having so much pasta, as you say spontaneously basta, you understand? So also with reference to anything and everything, enough. That thing can happen when person sees the satisfaction at any moment, at any time, within one's own self. Can you see this point? When you are satisfied, like physically when you are satisfied with pasta, moment you hear the word pasta, you will say basta. But if somebody says ice cream, some custard, let me little bit taste, okay? Name sake, because I am really full, but I don't mind to have little bit, okay? So that is not alam buddhi. Only you have alam buddhi with reference to pasta, not with reference to any other thing other than pasta. So here, same thing also. How you develop spontaneously, that for a few moments, with reference to pasta, with you, one has to really develop alam buddhi with reference to anything and everything. Anybody and everybody. So when developing alam buddhi, you discover neither you are for nor you are against. You just flow as the situation demands. If situation demands, you do. If situation doesn't demand, you understand? Eat and dharmire, correct? Sleep. So that is the perfect thing to do, okay? However, that's why he says, let us read the verse number. Alam yogeir alam yogeihi. I made a mistake. Alam yageir alam yogeihi. Alam bhogeir alam dhaneihi. Parasmin brahmani gyate iti vedanta dindima. So very nicely. Developing, let us say, alam buddhi. So when he says developing alam buddhi, generally all our thoughts have been classified into into four categories. And they are called as purusharthas. So purushartha means pursuit, generally they translate. The goal, pursuit. But we carefully say, this is called desire. That's why the word is called Purushaihi Arthyate Parthyate iti Purushartha. So that which is being desired by people. So all Purusharthas put together called four categories. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. So Dharma means healthy way of living. If you don't want to, because Dharma means has to be followed, Dharma Shastra. Without Shastra, there is no Dharma. Some people say, no, following universal values is called Dharma. How do you know what is universal value? So a lot of confusion. This in US people, some issues are there. However, let me not get into controversial thing. Dharma only is backed up by Dharma Shastra. Without studying Dharma Shastra, you cannot say what is Dharma. So in keeping with Dharma, that's a healthy way of living. Harmonious way of living. Both externally and internally. Now, in keeping with Dharma, that is the most important frame of desire, frame of thinking. So with that should be my foundation, that should be my base for a common person. So with that harmonious way of thinking, both externally and internally, that I cannot compromise. With that foundation, there is second type of category, second type of thought called Artha. Seeking securities through different means, starting with Artha, also same called wealth. And of course, the first one is more important. Then again keeping that, when Artha security is there, looking for the sense pleasure. Being a bhokta, enjoyer, an enjoyer. And the fourth category is moksha. So moksha means liberation, freedom. Enough vasta. This is called vasta buddhi, okay? This is the point. So unless you have vasta for these three, alam buddhi for these first three, it's not that easy. This moksha, mumuksha becomes a jigyasu, then jnani. Now he says, look, alam yagaihi. When this can happen? Parasmin brahmane jnate iti. When one understands the absolute truth called Brahman. Only understanding this. Then only what will happen? Without understanding this, there is a wow. Without realizing, this is called realization, okay? Yes, you realize nothing. Somebody says, you have to realize nothingness. Now tell me, how to realize nothingness? For life, think of egg, not to have hair, okay? Or have to have hair, okay? It doesn't work. So here it says, Parasmin Brahmani Gyante, understanding, because I am using very carefully, when Gyante, understanding, not realizing, because I have some allergic towards word realization, okay? What can I do? Because when I see the nuts, I realize that how crazy they are. So that is my realization, okay? So realize the craziness, I am not telling you jokes. Craziness is being admired, as accepted, as enlightenment. There was a Swami who was considered enlightened master. Do you know why? Because he was continuously smoking. I have seen, okay? And he was a great fellow. Or he was a great fellow, he became great fellow because of his prarabdha. And finally, where he ended up, don't ask me, okay? How he died, it's very pathetic situation happened. Okay, that is his prarabdha. No, we cannot comment as per the rule. But because he was extremely different, that continuously he can keep smoking, and he was considered as an enlightened master. And if you come to Kumbh Mela, somebody stand on the one leg. So you cannot stand in two legs for a long time. You need a chair, you need support. But the person is able to stand on one leg for a long time. So that person is called as enlightened master. I am not telling you jokes. Enlightenment has got something with the funny behavior, your funny behavior. The more you are funny, means exceptional. This is called, I put it funny. The more you are accepted, you are enlightened person. Look at all these enlightenment stories. So enlightenment stories has something to do with what? Really craziness. Have you not observed this? Tell me a single place where enlightenment is highlighted with reference to knowledge. A single Swami. Very difficult. In fact, some people said, Swamiji, you should talk softly so that other cannot understand. I said, yes, I should have a voice modulation, okay? However, he says, realizing is not a point, here is understanding. Only by understanding what you will understand, understanding one's own self as Brahman or understanding Brahman, what you will understand? You will have alam buddhi with reference to yaga. So yaga means all sort of rituals. Wow, Swamiji, that's why I am not interested in ritual from the beginning itself. Appa, I understand now. Hey, Vedanta is really great. Thank you, Vedanta. Hey, God's sake. This is called disaster. I am not telling you jokes. All these Vedantin, so-called Vedantin, end up, or they are called as Devantin. So Devantin means not Vedanta. Vedanta, you understand, okay? Essence of the knowledge, but ending Devatas, deities. So we are secular. We are non-committal. If you secular is a political word, okay? Because in India we have this word. I don't know why this made a secular country. Another innocence. So secular. Secular is that is not a religion. Secular is not a good idea. It's a bad idea to have secular. Secularism. What is secularism? However, if you want to put in a spiritual language, if you want to put in a non-committal life, that's the right word, non-committal life. That's why here is being said very carefully that Vedantin accepts anything and everything, in fact has grown out of everything. If you have not grown out of, remember, you are not a matured. The maturity comes when you have grown out of it. If not in this life, the person must have grown out of in previous life, from previous life. Can you see this point? You have to grow out of. There is no choice for you. So that's why yaga, alam buddhi with reference to rituals. Not starting anything, you want to grow out of it. In fact, Pujya Swamiji used to say, hey look, somebody came and said, look, I want to take sannyasa. So Pujya Swamiji asked him, what sort of sannyasa you want? Sannyasa? Yes, you have come here for renunciation. Tell me what you have that you want to renounce. See, you need to have something to renounce. Do you have any power and position? Have you have tapovalam? Have you done any austerity? Do you have any karmavalam? Do you have any japavalam? Because you need to have some strength, something. What do you possess? What do you have that you want to renounce? Tell me what you have, because unless you have something, how do you renounce? That's why, that was smart. I cannot forget. Yes, Swamiji, that's why what we do in the last day, sannyas time, once you confirm, so last day, I'll do Gayatri Japam. So I'll do Gayatri Japam whole night and give up Gayatri. It is like all these fathers, okay, here is only one fellow is here, Gautam. So now I can bring this poor fellow today. So yesterday happened to be his birthday. So maybe till today is continuing as for America. So good, happy birthday. So being father, see look, this fellow what they will do in India. Okay, Gautam is doing, so exceptional case, but still this fellow is skipping once in a while. I'm sorry recording your name, okay, I'm sorry. No Gayatri, nothing people do regularly. But they have to initiate their child, son especially, into Gayatri. Do you know what they do? One day before, some people few days before, but maximum of the one day before. Or some guys same day, in fact they will go and ask by the another priest, can you tell me what is Gayatri Mantra properly? I have heard this, okay. So they built up Gayatri and hand over to the child. So when father is like this, what sort of things you will expect from child? You think child will do Gayatri Japam? The way you handed over mantra, accordingly the fellow will do the nuisance. Coming back to the point, what I am highlighting here is that to give up, you need to have something in your hand. Only when you see the limitations here, alam buddhin limitations with reference to yaga. That means already you have seen, already you have it, and you have seen the limitations of it. So that's why you don't have any regret, neither craving. Can you see this point? No regret, no remorse, no craving for anything, anybody in your life. That's why what you need to do here is, He says, look, not only that, including with reference to yoga. So yaga goes with reference to dharma. Because dharma, artha, kama, that's why I'm bringing it here. So dharma. So yoga means here artha, security. Through yoga, you will have different siddhis. You will have different type of accomplishments. Through that, of course, you are a secure person. Security comes. Because all through yoga techniques, you can do anything and everything. So you have also alam buddhi with reference to yogic tricks and techniques. Okay, thank you. Then of course comes bhoga. So bhoga means pleasure. And especially dhanam, alam dhanaihi, with reference to wealth. So everywhere you have alam buddhi. In fact, this becomes spontaneous, this becomes natural. That's why learning to see the limitations of everything. And when you see the limitations of everything, not out of bitterness, not out of emptiness, but out of fullness, out of maturity. Can you see this point? Yes, Swamiji, sometimes I have also this alam buddhi because when I'm tired and fed up, like, having pasta up to this, I say basta to pasta. How long? One day. And the best example I can say, especially those who are allergic to ghee, you just tell them the word ghee. You can see the facial expression, okay? Or even if somebody loves ghee, this also I have seen for myself, because I love ghee, no doubt in it. But once I had, a huge amount of ghee, you cannot think of. I drank with, during that too, what do you call, black pepper, warm. So everybody said definitely you will have diarrhea. I said I don't think. It's long back, not now, okay? It's like more than 30 years back, must be 30, 45 years back. Because that time I was doing a lot of things. As a teenager, I was practicing a lot. I said, okay, somebody said, look, you want to taste your, Jatragni, digestive fire? Can you, minimum 500 grams of ghee with, what is that called? Black pepper, and it will be boiled and warm, drink. I said, okay. Those days, whoever, whatever says, I was ready to implement. I said, okay, I want to see. I drank. And everybody was scared. Definitely this fellow is going to be in the toilet for a long time. Nothing. I was very calm and quiet. But only sad thing happened. That is what point is. Forget about ghee smell. If anybody said for 10 days the word ghee, you understand? Please, please, please. This is the point I want to highlight, nothing else. So even though I liked ghee, but because I took so much at a time, because of some fancies or because of some pressure, because of something or other, now the word ghee itself, forget about consuming ghee, the word itself creates some type of alam buddhi indirectly in me. That is not healthy either. Can you see this point? So you need to see this alam buddhi. Whole life is developing alam buddhi in me. And the more I develop alam buddhi, the more I am available for myself. Can you see this point? The more I develop alam buddhi, the more I am available for myself. If you observe your life, your mind is occupied. What is preoccupation? Lack of alam buddhi. If your mind is always occupied with something or other, when I am talking here, for example, if you are not here, mind is somewhere, what does it mean? There is no alam buddhi. And if you don't have alam buddhi, it's a very simple thing. You cannot achieve anything in your life. As they say, sleep comes to that person when the person does not bother about sleep. If you are craving for sleep, sleep will never come. Have you not observed? You need to prepare, let the sleep take over. Same thing also, success comes to that person who prepares but does not run behind success, because success happens to be a lady. Remember this. We say Miss Success or Mr. Success. Generally Miss Success we say, okay? If I am right, Miss Success or Mr. Success in English. Okay, whatever. So ladies can say Mr. Success, men can say Miss Success, okay? I give benefit of doubt to all of you. Coming back. That's why this is the purpose. Let us look at the verse number next, because I was supposed to take few verses today. Alam Vedairalam Sastrai Alam Smriti Puranakai Paramatmani Vijñate Iti Vedanta Dindimam. Says, look, Paramatmani Vijñate iti. Only knowing, understanding Paramatma. So, when this Paramatma, the Atma which is supreme, and that happens to be in me, the innermost reality, knowing that, what will happen? He says, look, Alam Vedaihi, it is not only with reference to external dharma, artha, kama, these three. Also he says, look, the person will develop this Alam Buddhi with reference to Shastra. So different branches of Shastras. Because the purpose of Shastra is what? To know myself. Once I know myself, like apuriyamanam vachalam pratishtham. It is like, let us say very, very beautifully, every day to do the ritual, generally we used to do those days, nowadays things have changed. We generally do not take the water from the pipe. This bore oil we don't accept. Bore oil water is not accepted for the rituals. Only we take the water from the well. Why? Technically, because in the well, we do the pratishtha, we do invoke Varuna Devata, the presiding deity of water. Whereas in bore oil, no. So that's why the astral part is taken care in well. So that is what whole tradition was there in India. Now it's very rare to find out open well or the well, whatever. Everything is bore well. Coming back to the point. Here you have a well. So every day you used to, in the backyard or whatever, so you used to go and draw some water for rituals. Now flood comes. Everywhere full of water, including your well. Full everywhere. So will you take a boat and go there, search wherever there is well, and put the thing and take the water from there? So once it is flooded, you can take water from anywhere. So how this happens? Same thing also. Once you know yourself, now the purpose of Shastra is being solved. That's why you don't give that sort of importance enough buddhi for Shastra. You don't have craving. Oh, I must know this scripture. I must know that scripture. I must know this, know that. What logic says, what doesn't say. That slowly drops. Not only that, Smriti Puranakaihi. It brings do both things, Smriti and Purana. Actually, technically, Purana comes under Smriti. As you know, quickly we'll look into over time. Generally, the source, what we call Shastra, the knowledge comes from, generally we take knowledge from three sources. Sometimes we look at Mimamsa Shastra also, 4 let us say. Mimamsa also will come under Smriti. Let us look at 3, sorry. So one is called Shruti, Veda. That is the direct source. And which is the topmost. Nothing can be challenged, nobody can challenge. Second category comes Smriti. So Smriti comes from, like the word itself called memory, means understanding the Veda, the Shruti words. A Rishi has written in a common language. Under Smriti comes Puranas. Purana means what they translate as epics. But it is not real epics, value-oriented teachings. The same truth is being presented through the values. And in that also, under Smriti also Purana, Itihasa is there, like Ramayana and Mahabharata. Unfortunately, they call as epics. Unfortunately, they are not epics, they are Itihasa. Itihasa means history. From that day onwards, we call Ramayana as Itihasa. Never we call as Purana, epics. That's why Ramayana incident had happened. In fact, whatever discussion comes in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, same distance you can see now here from there. In fact, we say very carefully that when this war got over, Rama, Sita, Hanuman and few of them had to flee. Because if they do not reach on certain day, Bharata, the younger brother, is going to die. Because he had said that if you do not reach after 14 years is completed, I am going to, get into fire. So that's why they had to rush. Whereas all other warriors, especially, they also wanted to come. How to come? They had to come by walk. So to come and reach Ayodhya, they took, if I am right, some 49 days or something like that. Okay, if I am right. Now, interestingly, when you search in the Google, put from Sri Lanka, that place to Ayodhya by walk, it will show exactly the same day. So, when Google says, so we accept, it must be true. You understand? This has been written long back. Imagine. What I am trying to say is, these are called itihasas. Mahabharata also called itihasa. And interestingly, in Smriti, we have 18, sometimes we consider 20 Smriti Granthas. Like, Parasara Smriti, Vyasa Smriti, Daksha Smriti. Generally, Yajnavalkya, many people consider as 18, other two are not. But in Yajnavalkya, we consider as 20 Smriti Granthas. Manu Smriti and Yajnavalkya Smriti. So there are 20 lists are there. So where it is being taught, what are the value system, how to follow, what to do, what not to do. And third type of source of knowledge is called Prakarana Granthas. The writings or commentaries also, writing of Acharyas. So writing of Acharyas becomes also a source of knowledge. The works of Acharyas. So here he says very carefully that one need to develop the alambudhi or seize the limitations or has grown out of this all this source of knowledge. Because the person himself is the embodiment of knowledge. So once the person himself or herself is the embodiment of knowledge, definitely all this source of knowledge is secondary. And when the person develops this alambudhi, of course the person starts seeing. And of course next verse we'll see that not only that, with reference to Veda also, the person sees the alambudhi. More of it we will see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.